Namaskar, hello and a very warm welcome viewers. You're watching this special presentation of Sunset TV Samvad with your host Kriti Mishra, and joining me is a very special guest, Speaker of Rajasthan Vidhan Sabha, Mr. C.P. Joshi. Sir, welcome to Sunset TV and thank you so much for joining us. The 83rd All India Presiding Officers Conference is being held in Jaipur. The relevance of this deliberation, sir, given the fact that we are looking at improving the functioning of legislatures across the country.
Basically the parliamentary democracy required, the prerequisite of parliamentary democracy is that the party system should be improved. Unless and until party decides that you have to perform in what manner in assembly and parliament, that decide the proceeding of the house. Unfortunately, the party become irrelevant after the elected member become member of legislative or parliament. So, behavior of the legislator in assembly and parliament guided by the party. So, it is onus lies on the party that they have to decide this thing, how their elected member should behave in the house.
So, I'll break the deliberations into three broad categories. Of course, first talking about the continuous disruptions that we are witnessing across legislatures. So, we've been talking about code of conduct, we've been talking about maintaining the decorum in the house, but there seems to be no resolution in sight.
So, I said very simply that unfortunately we have divided party and legislature wing separately. You see, even in anti-defection bill,
yes,
they have envisaged different thing, that if the split is in the legislature wing, it is legitimate. If the split in party, it is legitimate. So, deliberately we have committed this mistake that we have differentiated between the party and the legislature wing. Unless until we get these two things, that ultimately in parliamentary democracy, the party is supreme, the party decide the candidates. Once you get elected on the party symbol, it should be the responsibility of the party how their member behave in the house.
But sir, how do we make amends?
Then we have to address this issue with the election commission, that they recognize the political parties. One of the important thing that when they recognize the political parties, they should put this condition that the onus will lie on the party, that how their member will perform in assembly and parliament.
So, something that Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar of Rajya Sabha said, that now is the time to decide what has to be done in terms of disruption. Do you think there are doable solutions in sight?
Yeah, I do agree. I said that we the people of India opted parliamentary democracy. When we decided to have a parliamentary democracy, we have to strengthen the functioning of the party. Unless the political party decides that they have to have these things in their party, and while deciding the candidate, they have to see to it that those members who get the ticket should adhere to the basic norms of the parliament democracy.
Absolutely, sir. Let's also talk about separation of powers between executive, legislature and judiciary. Time and again, we've been talking about harmonious relationship between the three organs of democracy. But again, the solution, do you think deliberations like this with the three organs, or do you think there's any other way to ensure that there's harmonious relationship for the development of the country?
We have to go to the history of debate in Constitutional Assembly. What Ambedkar ji has said, what Rajendra Prasad ji has said, they said very categorically, the human beings are important.
That's
true. We are getting the problem because who are the judges? They are human beings. Who are the speaker? They are human beings. Who are the member of the assembly and parliament? They are human beings. So, unless and until this onus lies on the person who occupied the position of legislator, parliament or speaker or the judge, that they have to subscribe that they owe to the constitution. Once they decide these things, everything will be normal.
Yes, but then who decides and who ensures that this decision?
Fundamentally, it is the duty of the political party.
Yes, sir.
That's my way of thinking, because people may not agree, but we are discussing something which is abstract.
Right.
The legislative wing behavior cannot be separated from the functioning of the party, unless and until the political party decides that this is the minimum thing. When they decide the candidate for the election, they will have to perform like this and this. That onus should be on the political party.
Absolutely, sir. Point well taken. Sir, the biggest takeaway for me as a journalist today from your opening speech was the fact that the financial autonomy has to be thought of the legislatures. So, what's the way ahead?
You see, right from beginning, there was a well thought consideration that we will see to it that speaker will not be, no party will put candidate against the speaker. That efforts was made, so that the speaker function independently. though the speaker is a member of one of the political party, but after getting elected, it is desirable that he will be separated from the party which he belongs. So that was the idea when we decided to have a speaker. The second, the speaker should be free from the financial relationship with the government. Unless until we have independent system of giving financial power autonomy to the legislator wing, it will be very difficult to have independent decision by the speaker, because ultimately for every petty things for financial matter they have to depend the government. Then onus will lies on this, that there has to be some harmonious relationship between speaker and government, and the government of the day will influence the things. So my concept is very simple, that we have a provision of financial commission in the constitution, where we decide how to devolve the financial power to the states, and government has amended it to devolve the financial power to the panchayat and local self. In the same proviso of article, we can put an certain we can give provision of giving financial devolution by financial commission to the state assemblies and parliament, so that they will work independently.
With that big takeaway, sir, I'll end this conversation. Thank you so much for